Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Justin and this is our Overland Adventure. So we're out here, I've got Xander in the driver's seat to check the injectors. I've already checked the first two. I'm digging out the third one right now. There we go. All you do is you plug them in. Alright Xander, go ahead. That's good. And since it's flashing red, we know that it's good. And we'll go ahead and plug that one back in. All right, go ahead. That's good. All right, go ahead. That's good. Go ahead. That's good. All right, go ahead. Good. And go ahead. That's good. Cool, you can turn it off. So yeah, Noid light test was good on all 8 injectors, which is what I expected. So next step is going to be to check and make sure we've got spark. I need to see if the new tool has showed up because I don't have a tool to do it easily. If that hasn't showed up, we'll come back when it does. Okay, so I was just doing some cleanup in the engine bay. I was gonna reroute this and just do some basic cleanup while I was waiting for that tool to show up. And I realized that my manifold air temperature sensor, the plug on it was turned around, so it wasn't actually in contact. It was snug, but it wasn't snapped in. It was backwards. So I'm gonna rehook up the fuel and see if that's all it was. It'll be nuts if that's all it was. All that frustration for nothing. Of course it's not that easy. Hey everybody, it is another day. Yesterday, Xander and I were able to confirm that we are getting injector pulse. And so we lost daylight after jiu-jitsu, and part finally showed up. Or the tool finally showed up, so Xander's going to come out here in a moment. We are going to see if we are getting spark. All right, well, that tool's not working. I just tested it on my daughter's car, and I don't know what's going on with it, but it doesn't work. So I'm going to pull out my power probe, and we're going to do it that way. All right, we got the power probe set up here. Go ahead and check it. That's good. All right, go ahead. So that is the ground, which means that should have constant 12 volts, and it doesn't. Go ahead and crank it for a second. Crank it again. All right, don't do it again. So when it cranks, that is positive. And then if that's the case, means this one should be the signal on crank. Alright, go again. Hold it for a little longer. Hold it until I say stop. Stop. So I've got 12 volt constant, I've got ground constant, and then I've got the ground for the signal, but I am not picking up much voltage for the igniter signal, and I don't know how much voltage the igniter is supposed to be getting. It's been 2 weeks since that video, and over the last 2 weeks, I've talked with a handful of people, finally got somebody at Holly to spend some time with me, and in that initial call, really what we did was go through everything I had already done and kind of validate that, yes, those were the right things to check. And we left off saying, you know, it still seems like maybe there's a fuel delivery problem. And so he had me go get some ether. Today, Xander and I went out and we tried to fire it up with ether. It acted like it wanted it to start and run on ether, but it didn't actually. So I'm still kind of at a loss. I don't know what the problem is. Unfortunately, Holly closes early. Their support help closes early on Friday, which baffles my mind. So by noon central, they're already gone. And so it's too late in the day for me to talk with them. So it's going to be at least another week before I get it running, is what it comes down to. Somebody on one of the Holly Terminator groups had offered to take a look at my file. I sent it to him, but I haven't heard back yet. That's been over a week, so I'm not going to harass him. But yeah, until I get some help trying to understand what the actual problem is, I'm kind of at a loss. I was able to finally get the Terminator X software to run on my Mac. And I was able to look at the logs, and it looks like I'm running very lean. And so I guess next steps for me is I'm going to pull those fuel lines and blow them out and see if there's something physically causing a clog that would allow the pressure to stay high but the flow to be low. And so we're going to check that. We're going to check all the fittings, make sure there's no blocks anywhere there. If I have to, I will pull the fuel rails and I'll check those as well. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've got to figure out why this thing is not firing. It definitely acts lean. So the assumption is it's a fuel delivery problem. Just got to figure it out. So that's where we're at. Unfortunately, again, this week it's not going to run, but very hopeful that on Monday I can get a hold of somebody with Holly and they can point me in the right direction to find out why it's not running. We can verify that, you know, maybe it is a fuel pump problem, maybe it is fuel pressure regulator, and I'll order some Holly parts and get them hooked up and see if we can get this thing to run. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for sticking around. Really appreciate it. Again, the support for this channel has been really overwhelming up to this point, so I couldn't be more appreciative. If you haven't yet clicked that subscribe button, please do so. Like and share with your friends, and stick around for more content. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again next week.